This is ANN News Brief.
Good morning, I'm Lucy Adeyemi. Doctors Union in Kenya has issued a 21-day strike action notice to the government after losing 10 members to the coronavirus in the last 4 days. The doctors accuse the government of exposing them to COVID-19. The union is demanding that the government provide standard and adequate protective gear to all healthcare workers in all health facilities, including those working in privately owned hospitals. They also want the government to provide all healthcare workers with a comprehensive medical cover. The union's acting Secretary General said they would not call off the strike until all their demands were met. 4 doctors died last Friday alone, although it is unclear if they had contact with coronavirus patients. Health Minister Mutahi Kagwe said that a meeting will be held today, Monday, to discuss the rise of COVID-19 infections in the country and among healthcare workers. Kenya has so far confirmed more than 70,200 coronavirus cases and 1,269 deaths. Libya's political peace talks ended on Sunday with no naming of a new transitional government and presidency council in the interim. The political peace talks started last week following last month's ceasefire agreement signed in Geneva between Libya warring sides. During the talks, a preliminary agreement to a roadmap for elections was reached. The talks were being held in neighboring Tunisia. The UN's interim Libya envoy, Stephanie Williams, said no names were discussed during the week-long meeting. Williams said agreement was reached to reconvene in about a week in a virtual meeting to agree on the selection mechanism for the coming new government. We'll be right back.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network. ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.
Sudan and Egypt have announced a joint air exercises. The two countries said over the weekend they have started the joint air exercises called the 9 Eagles 1 at the Merowe Air Base in northern Sudan. The joint drills will continue until late November. The training comes days after talks between Sudan, Egypt and Ethiopia on the Grand Renaissance Dam failed. It also comes at a time when Ethiopia is engaged in a military conflict with its opposition-led Tigray region. The army chiefs of Sudan and Egypt met in Sudan's capital Khartoum last October and agreed to enhance joint military cooperation. A spokesman for the Egyptian army said in a statement the joint air drills will carry out many activities, including planning and managing joint air combat, air offensive and defensive operations by the multi-role combat aircraft from the two countries. Also, airborne forces will conduct combat search and rescue exercises. It's the first of its kind military exercise between the two North African neighbors since the era of former Sudanese President Jafar al-Minari in the 1970s. That is ANN News Brief at 11. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adeyemi.